What if Patrick Mahomes saved the Chicago Bears? It is one of the biggest what-ifs in modern football history. A single decision that could have rewritten not only the Bears' fate, but perhaps the entire trajectory of the NFL. The year is 2017. The Chicago Bears are desperate. Decades of quarterback misery have defined the franchise since the glory days of the 1985 defense. Jay Cutler's era is ending, fans are restless, and the front office is under pressure to find the guy. In real life, they traded up to draft Mitchell Trubisky with the second overall pick, passing on a gunslinger from Texas Tech named Patrick Mahomes, a player with a cannon-arm backyard instincts and a confidence that felt ahead of its time. But in this timeline, things unfold differently. On draft night, the Bears' war room feels that spark. Instead of sticking with the safe pick, they gamble on upside. They take Mahomes. The moment Roger Goodell says the words, "With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Patrick Mahomes, quarterback Texas Tech," the course of history changes. The crowd at Grant Park is confused. Mahomes wasn't supposed to be the guy. But soon they'll see something the league's never witnessed in navy and orange. The 2017 season begins with tempered expectations. Head coach John Fox is cautious, maybe too old school for a player like Mahomes, but the flashes are undeniable. Even in preseason, the arm talent shocks teammates. Deep bombs, sidearm lasers, no-look throws. Mahomes looks like someone built for highlight reels. In our real world, he sat behind Alex Smith in Kansas City, learning under Andy Reid. But in this reality, Chicago's desperate for offense, and by week 5, the rookie gets his chance. Soldier Field buzzes as he jogs out for his first start against the Vikings. A tough defense, but Mahomes doesn't flinch. He throws for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick that's more excitement than error. The Bears lose narrowly, but the city sees something special. For the first time in decades, they have hope, not just in their defense, but in their quarterback. As 2017 rolls into 2018, change comes fast. Fox is replaced by Matt Nagy, the same offensive mind who coached under Andy Reid in Kansas City. The fit is perfect. Nagy sees in Mahomes what Reid once did, a magician who can turn broken plays into masterpieces. The 2018 Chicago Bears, powered by a young Mahomes, become one of the NFL's most electrifying teams. Allen Robinson, Tarek Cohen, and Jordan Howard thrive in Nagy's creative offense. The defense, already elite with Khalil Mack, feeds off the energy. The Bears finish 12-4, and Mahomes wins MVP in his first full season as a starter, just like in our world with the Chiefs. But this time, the Windy City becomes the epicenter of football magic. Mahomes throws 48 touchdowns, turns Soldier Field into a spectacle, and Chicago becomes the loudest, proudest football city in America again. The monsters of the Midway now have an offense worthy of their defense. The 2018 playoffs play out differently too. No double doink, no heartbreak. When the Bears face the Eagles in the NFC wildcard round, Mahomes' poise makes the difference. Down by 3 with 40 seconds left, he scrambles, dodges Fletcher Cox, and fires a laser to Allen Robinson for the game-winning touchdown. Chicago erupts. The Bears advance, beat the Rams in the divisional round, and face the Saints in the NFC Championship. In a Superdome thriller, Mahomes outduels Drew Brees, leading a comeback for the ages. The Bears, yes, the Chicago Bears, are heading to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2006. Their opponent? The New England Patriots and Tom Brady, the student versus the master. Super Bowl victory becomes an instant classic. The Patriots' defense is disciplined, but Mahomes' improvisation keeps them guessing. He throws for 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 crucial fourth-quarter drive that ends with a 25-yard strike to Trey Burton. The Bears win 27-24. Patrick Mahomes, at 23 years old, is Super Bowl MVP. Chicago finally has its savior, not just a quarterback, but a generational icon. The city that lived on defense now thrives on offensive brilliance. The curse is broken. The legacy of Sid Luckman finally has a successor. As the next few seasons unfold, the NFL's power structure transforms. The Chiefs, without Mahomes, never become the juggernaut we know. Alex Smith remains solid but unspectacular, and Kansas City hovers around playoff contention without breaking through. The dynasty that never was. Meanwhile, in Chicago, Mahomes becomes the new face of the league. His style forces defenses to evolve. His creativity redefines what's possible in a cold-weather city known for grit and ground games. Soldier Field, often seen as a tough environment for passing, becomes the stage for weekly magic. Mahomes adjusts to the wind, the cold, the pressure, turning conditions into challenges rather than excuses. By 2020, Mahomes and the Bears are a dynasty in the making. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Lombardi Trophy, and back-to-back MVP seasons. Chicago drafts smart, builds around him, and becomes the NFL's hottest destination for free agents. Wide receivers want to play with him. Offensive coordinators dream of designing plays for him. The defense, still led by Mack and Roquan Smith, dominates up front, giving Mahomes even more opportunities to shine. The Bears of 2020 are what the Chiefs became in our reality. Explosive, unpredictable, unbeatable when they click. And here's where the ripple effect deepens. Tom Brady's legacy looks different. Without Mahomes in the AFC, Brady's Patriots have fewer challenges in the late 2010s. He wins another ring in 2018, but his historic Super Bowl LV matchup, Brady versus Mahomes, never happens. The storyline of the old GOAT versus the young prince doesn't exist. Instead, Brady's biggest late career rival becomes Aaron Rodgers, whose Packers now find themselves battling Mahomes' Bears for NFC dominance every season. The rivalry between Chicago and Green Bay, already one of the league's oldest, becomes the NFL's defining duel of the decade. Every matchup feels like a playoff game. Lambeau Field and Soldier Field become battlegrounds for NFC supremacy. Rodgers versus Mahomes, a clash of eras. By 2021, Mahomes is the league's highest-paid player, but his loyalty to Chicago runs deep. The city loves him. Murals, commercials, Mahomes Way, street signs near Soldier Field. Kids wear number 15 jerseys across Illinois. Chicago, once haunted by quarterback failure, now boasts the most exciting player of the generation. The Bears become a cultural force. Primetime darlings, social media sensations, the NFL's new glamour team. The phrase "Da Bears" transforms from nostalgic humor to proud identity. The Chiefs, meanwhile, fade into the background. Andy Reid retires earlier without a championship, his career defined by what could have been. The AFC crown rotates among teams like the Ravens, Bills, and Patriots, but no dynasty emerges. The NFL's balance of power shifts. The NFC, led by Chicago and San Francisco, becomes the dominant conference. Mahomes' presence in Chicago also impacts the draft landscape. The Chiefs' lack of success reshapes team needs. The Bears' winning streak pushes other franchises to rethink how they evaluate quarterbacks. Suddenly, teams stop looking for system guys and start hunting for playmakers. The era of risk-taking begins earlier. Lamar Jackson gets drafted higher. Josh Allen receives less skepticism. The league evolves faster. Mahomes' influence isn't just about highlight plays. It's cultural. He changes how front offices view creativity and leadership. But like all legends, even this alternate timeline isn't free from adversity. By 2022, the Bears face their biggest challenge yet, keeping their core intact. Salary cap pressures mount, injuries hit, and Mahomes must carry even more weight. In one season, he loses key receivers and a top lineman, but his ability to elevate everyone around him becomes even clearer. Chicago finishes 11-6. Mahomes throws for 5,000 yards, and the legend grows. Fans and analysts start calling him the savior of Soldier Field. And then comes the 2023 NFC Championship, Bears versus 49ers. A new generation led by Brock Purdy tries to dethrone Mahomes' dynasty. The game is pure drama. Rain, wind, tension. Down by 4 in the final minute, Mahomes scrambles, dodges Bosa, and throws across his body to Darnell Mooney for the win. Soldier Field shakes like it hasn't since 1985. The Bears return to the Super Bowl again, and Mahomes cements his status as one of the all-time greats. By the time 2025 arrives, Patrick Mahomes has done what no one thought possible. He has turned the Chicago Bears into a modern dynasty. 3 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, and a city reborn through football magic. Kids who grew up watching defensive legends now dream of being quarterbacks. Coaches build offenses around motion, creativity, and freedom, all inspired by what Mahomes brought to the game. Chicago becomes a football capital again, not just for toughness, but for brilliance. The legacy? It's unmatched. When historians debate the greatest quarterbacks of all time, the conversation shifts. Brady has the longevity, Peyton the precision, but Mahomes, the Chicago Mahomes, becomes the perfect blend of artistry and victory. He's the icon who rewrote the DNA of a defensive franchise and made it beautiful again. Soldier Field stands as a monument not just to history, but to rebirth, to the quarterback who saved the Chicago Bears. And as the years roll on, the what if fades into a storybook legend. Fans tell their kids about the night the Bears drafted Mahomes, about the Super Bowl runs, about the no-look passes in the snow. Chicago becomes synonymous with quarterback excellence, because in this universe, one bold decision on draft night turned heartbreak into history. One name changed everything. Patrick Mahomes, not just the face of the league, but the savior of the Chicago Bears.